Hi, I'm Sandeep, and you're watching the Indian Weekender. As you all know, that just now, probably 15 minutes ago, Immigration Minister Iain Lees-Galloway had issued a press release saying that he has fixed the issue arising out of traditional Indian marriages and affecting majority of Kiwi Indian community. So I've got press release with me, which says government fixes culturally arranged marriage visa issue. So we are going to speak to immigration lawyer Alastair McClymont, who has been in the lead, raising the voice for the community that there has been issues with immigration New Zealand, and just try to figure it out. That has the government been able to fix the issue at all or not? Hello, Alastair. How are you today?
Very good, thank you.
So, Alastair, I just want to ask you that has the government been able to fix the issue at all or not?
Well, it certainly doesn't look like it from the news release. They're talking about applying a strict definition of culturally arranged marriages, but the vast majority of declined visas I've seen have not been around traditionally culturally arranged marriages. A lot of them have simply been people who are living and working in New Zealand who choose to marry a partner back in India or other countries and have then gone back and got married. And by uh, applying these rules only to strict traditional cultural marriages, it eliminates all those other people who have been wrongly declined visas.
Right. Okay. So I think what Alistair is saying that it's really not a good news for the community, because what he's explained, I would like to add a little bit of more of that. That culturally arranged marriage visa category, there is a separate category already within immigration instructions, and what probably Alistair is trying to clarify is that government is now mixing two issues: the issue of one where majority of Kiwi Indians go back and get married, and already pre-existing culturally arranged marriage visa category, isn't it?
Yeah, there already is a culturally arranged visa category for people getting married in New Zealand. They seem to be wanting to apply that same definition to people who got married overseas. There are very few applications like this. The vast majority of partnership applications from countries such as India have, they're sort of mixed. Some of them are love marriages, some of them are arranged, some of them are partly arranged, some of them have, the parents or family contributing to the decision and vice versa. This doesn't seem to cover that situation at all. It's very disappointing.
Right, okay. And so what do you mean to say that government has not got it right? Probably they have not understood the whole issue, isn't it? So for the benefit of our readers, would you explain the general difference, like what would a culturally arranged marriage constitute, and how majority of marriages happening in Indian subcontinent would not still fall into this category?
Well, what we've seen in the past with this definition of traditional culturally arranged marriages is when family, parents, or third parties, they have a complete control over the selection of the marriage partner. And they will tell the person in the family, you will be marrying this person. And that's it. So as soon as parties to the marriage sort of contribute to that own selection process, it no longer fits into that definition of a traditional cultural marriage.
Right. So you mean to say that although like we know that back in India, like we have this families coming together and taking that call, but still, even after they have presented the bride or groom to each other, then there is a huge amount of freedom among both individuals to decide if they want to go ahead and do marry, right? So what you're trying to say that the moment they will choose each other, they will meet, they will go on a date, and they will like to see that they can or they want to create a life, they will not fall into this culturally arranged marriage category. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, that's what's happened with this definition under previous policy, is that the selection of the marriage partner is completely in the hands of somebody else. So if the couple in the marriage have any involvement in deciding whether or not to marry, then it doesn't fit into that cultural tradition which Immigration New Zealand have used. We see very few applications that actually meet this traditional culturally arranged marriage definition, very few of them.
Do you have any numbers, like on the basis of your memory, like how many applications you would have dealt in the culturally arranged marriage visa category, say in last few years?
Probably one, maybe two in the last 2 years, whereas other partnership visa applications, we probably see, 5 a week.
Oh, is it? Okay. So there is a huge gap in understanding of the government. And okay, so just helping a little bit more our viewers out there, our audiences out there, that a vast number of members of community who are in the country, who are working on work visas, residents, and who have been creating a life for themselves. And back in India, they have been talking to their families, they've been talking to their prospective partners, going and meeting them on certain occasions, going on holidays. And once they establish that they want to create a life together, they go back and do that ritual, marriage ritual. So you mean to say this new announcement is not going to help them at all?
It certainly doesn't look like it. And there are a number of other things that it doesn't address as well. It doesn't say what happens to those people who were told by Immigration New Zealand to apply for general visitors visas and then were declined because they applied for general visitors visas. It doesn't say whether or not these people have to go to the back of an 8-month queue again, or whether or not they're going to have their applications reassessed immediately. It doesn't give any of this sort of information.
Right. Okay. And okay. So, right. From what I'm saying, when I'm reading a minister's comment over here, when minister says that Immigration New Zealand officials will also need to check the marriage followed an identified cultural tradition, including the facilitation of the selection of the persons to be married being done by people. So, would you be able to explain what do you understand from this identified cultural tradition?
Well, that's always been a matter of some dispute. What I've seen in the past is that Immigration New Zealand are wanting letters from community leaders saying that the marriage took place in an identifiable cultural tradition. And of course, modern marriages in India, which are often a mixture of arrangement and love marriage, just don't fit into that traditional identifiable cultural tradition. So I can't really see how those sorts of modern Indian marriages are going to qualify based on the information in this news release.
Right, okay. So you mean to say it's still not a good news, and it's kind of a quick fix that government has tried to bring upon to quell the rising dissentment and the dissent in the community, and it doesn't help at all.
Yep, it seems to me that it's just designed to kill the media stories and make the issue go away.
Great. Thank you very much, Alastair. It looks like that we need to speak to you again sometime in near future to understand what's happening. So the news coming from what Alastair McClymont is interpreting is that it's not a good news still for the community. A vast number of members of Kiwi Indian community will still not be able to fall into this newly appointed category. And from what I have been reading, that this category is particularly meant for only residents and citizens, as it says. So it still doesn't say anything for people who are on work visas over here. So this is Sandeep along with Alastair McClymont from his office here. Thank you very much.